Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of Moore's October Rants. Today, we're diving into a topic that never seems to lose its spark: slut shaming. Yeah, we're going there. It's one of those subjects where everyone has something to say, whether they're aware of it or not. And that's kind of the point, right? People always have opinions about what you're wearing, how you're acting, and what that means about you. You could be walking down the street minding your own business, feeling good in your own skin, and boom, someone's got a label ready for you. Like, think about this. You throw on something you like, something that makes you feel confident, but because it's not what they would wear, it's suddenly got to mean you're sending out signals. Maybe you're into devil worship or casting spells just because you went with a dark, gothic look. Like, really? People are wild with these assumptions. And you know what? It's not on you to fix their misunderstanding. If someone sees your outfit and automatically jumps to the conclusion that you're easy or asking for it, that's their problem. But here's the uncomfortable part. We live in a world where those assumptions can lead to dangerous situations, and that's not fair. It's not right. But it happens. It's this double-edged sword women face, right? On the one hand, you should absolutely be able to dress however you want. And on the other hand, society loves to twist that freedom into an excuse for their bad behavior. Some will say, well, if she didn't want attention, she wouldn't wear that. And I'm like, no. No. A woman wearing something revealing isn't an invitation for harassment. It's just not. But here's the thing. While you can control how you present yourself, you can't control how people react. And that's where things get complicated. You can dress however you want, and hell yes, you should have that right. But you've got to understand that people are going to bring their own baggage into how they interpret it. I think we all get that people will make snap judgments based on what they see. And unfortunately, in some cases, those judgments are seriously harmful. Now, I'm not saying that anyone should change how they dress just because of what might happen. But I do think it's important to acknowledge that we live in a world where people don't always react in ways that are reasonable or fair. I've seen this come up before in a different context. I remember listening to a podcast where this lead singer of a band, some dude at Warped Tour, went on this whole rant about women dressing a certain way. He was basically slut shaming, but under the guise of being godly and moral. He's out there preaching about how women should cover up, be more modest, or else they're immoral. It was intense, and the backlash was immediate. People weren't having it, and rightfully so. But what struck me about that whole thing was how passionately he believed in this double standard, that women had to change who they were, how they dressed, to fit some idea of what's appropriate. And let me tell you, that was a lot of years ago, and yet that attitude hasn't gone anywhere. People still believe it. Hell, sometimes it feels like we're going backward, not forward. So, yeah, I think women should be able to wear whatever they want. You want to rock something that shows off your body? Do it. You're feeling confident, and you should own that. But here's the rub. Just because you can do something doesn't always mean you should. At least if we're talking about navigating this twisted reality we live in. There's this whole conversation about morals that comes into play, and it gets tricky. What's moral for you might not be moral for someone else. Some women see wearing revealing clothes as an expression of self-love and empowerment, and yeah, I'm all for self-love, but not everyone is going to see it that way. Here's where the nuance comes in. When you choose to dress a certain way, especially if it's something that's pushing the boundaries of what people are used to, you've got to be aware of the energy you're putting out there. And that's not to say you're doing anything wrong, but society has these embedded stereotypes. When someone sees you wearing something tight or revealing, they might automatically assume things about who you are, your values, or your intentions. And sure, they're wrong for making those judgments, but that doesn't stop them from doing it. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that women should tone it down or play it safe to avoid judgment. What I'm saying is that we live in a world where you can't control how people see you. It sucks, but that's reality. You might think you're putting out a message of confidence and strength, but someone else sees it and makes assumptions that are miles away from the truth. And that's why, when it comes to personal freedom, whether it's what you wear, how you act, or what you say, there's always going to be someone who disagrees. That's their freedom, just like it's yours to do you. Freedom is funny like that. People love to say they're all about freedom until they bump up against something that challenges their worldview. I'm talking real freedom here, the kind where I might disagree with what you're doing, but I'll still defend your right to do it. That's what freedom is. It's not about everyone getting along and agreeing with each other. It's about respecting each other's rights, even when we don't see eye to eye. That's what makes it tricky, though. With freedom comes responsibility. And part of that responsibility is accepting that not everyone's going to agree with how you live your life. And the reality is, if you push boundaries, people are going to push back. Maybe that's with words, maybe it's with judgmental stares, or worse, physical or verbal harassment. And I wish it weren't that way, but pretending it doesn't happen won't make it go away. People will have opinions on everything, not just your clothes. They'll judge the music you listen to, the car you drive, the friends you hang out with, even the food you eat. It's not just about slut shaming. It's about how society loves to stick its nose in your business, no matter what you do. And the more you challenge the norms, the louder those opinions will get. But here's the thing. You don't have to accept their opinions. You don't have to let those judgments define you or change how you live your life. The beauty of freedom is that you get to decide how much weight you give to other people's thoughts. You can choose to brush it off, stand tall, and keep doing your thing. Just know that, like with everything in life, there's always going to be that tension between what you want to do and how the world might react. So at the end of the day, my advice is this. Dress however you want. Live your life. Just be aware of the reality we live in, and be prepared for the fact that not everyone's going to get it. And that's okay. You don't need their approval, but just know it's coming. That's just how the world works, like it or not. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Thanks for sticking around and listening to Moore's October Rants. I appreciate all of you, and I'll catch you next time. Stay true to yourself, and don't let the world get you down. Signing off. Have a good one, everybody.